The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love would be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon, so grab your copy today. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful lady who's an author from the Pacific Northwest and began writing at the age of 13 for local papers in Kent, Washington. She became a TV news reporter and weather forecaster in Yakima and Spokane, and she also has a series that includes The Nebula Secret, Falcon's Feather, also Double Helix, Star Dunes, and she's also written some other works like Julep O'Toole, which I can use right now, the mint version, My Top Secret Dares and Don'ts, and Sister Solution, and more. And she's working with National Geographic, and we're going to talk about the book, The Tiger's Nest, and we're going to talk about her fantastic career live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and sipping on some coffee, ladies and gentlemen, the very multi-talented author of The Tiger's Nest and more, Trudi Trueit. Trudi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Wow, what an intro. I need to take you with me wherever I go.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we can go on Explorer Academy as well, too. We take in the Tiger's Nest. We can do the Nebula Secret, Falcon's Feather, Double Helix, Star Dunes. I mean, everybody take your pick, okay? So, we'll talk about some of the book. And also, you've been living in the Pacific Northwest for quite some time. You started writing at 13 years old for a local paper. You became a TV reporter and a weather forecaster, or like say, weatherman, weather person, whatever you call it, predicting the weather in Yakima and Spokane. And before we get into all that, before you tell us how you got started, give us your local weather forecast if you're appearing on TV right now or radio.
My local weather forecast is what it usually is in the Seattle area. Temperatures are in the mid-50s during the day, and overnight lows are about 40 degrees. It's overcast with a slight mist coming down, and that is January in the Northwest.
It sounds like our weather as well, too. So when you look back and play at a later date, you're like, you got that weather in the Pacific Northwest. So.
Yeah. And no matter when we play this back, the weather will probably be the same, around 45 to 50 degrees.
It's not surprising. And don't forget the rain as well, too. It's good for the plants and good for rainwater. And you can also give it to your plants, give it to birds and whatever else. And I appreciate giving a weather forecast. And also, let's get back to telling us how you got started as well, too. You got an amazing beginning there.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting that we should start talking about the weather because that's a great place to start sharing with you about how I actually got involved in writing for children. Because I was doing weather, I was doing newscasting, and I would head out and visit classrooms of students, and we would talk about the weather, and I would share with them how, they were so curious and so fascinated about how clouds formed and how rain formed and how snow formed, and I thought, it would be really interesting to write a book for kids about the weather. And so I approached some publishers, and I got one publisher, Scholastic, said, you know what, we do library books for kids, and we'd love for you to write a series of weather books. And that's really how I got started. So I started doing earth science books, weather books, and they were primarily for libraries. So if your child wanted to do a report about clouds, they would go to the library and maybe check out one of my books.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for quite a few years. And then at the same time, I had some fiction brewing in my head, too, that I still wanted to do some storytelling. And I started writing fiction as well. So I would go back and forth between the two. I would write a fiction series, come back, write a couple of nonfiction books, go back and forth. And so when National Geographic came calling, it was really the perfect marriage of what I love to do, which is storytell, create characters and put them in great situations, adventure storytelling, and doing all the research that's required in the background in scientific, in nonfiction work. So that's really what this series is. It's for kids ages 8 to 12. It's Explorer Academy. Right now we have 5 books in the series, and we have 7 planned. And these kids travel the world. They are explorers, just like the real explorers of National Geographic. So they learn about all the things that the regular National Geographic explorers learn about. And they also learn a little bit about themselves, how they can participate in the world, so how they can contribute to the world, just like the real researchers of National Geographic. So for me, it's a perfect fit of being able to create an adventure story and yet also use all the science, the technology, all of the things that I love about writing nonfiction.
Wow, that is amazing. And what got you interested in weather from the beginning?
It was kind of funny. When I came out of school, when you're out of school, you go to a small, like you probably know, you go to a small station, and you start out at the bottom. And I started out as a reporter, and they needed a weather person at the time, and I've always been fascinated with weather. So that's how I started. I taught myself. I learned. I read books. I just really have always enjoyed meteorology, and so it was just a perfect. Like I said, it was a perfect fit for me because it's something that I was passionate about and fascinated by. And I think that is kind of the thing that I want to impart to kids is, look for the things that make you interested in life and passionate about life. And who knows, you can turn writing, meteorology, science into a career, into something that you love to do. And that's what life is all about, finding the passion that excites you every day.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, since we're talking about fiction books, the weather and everything, maybe give us a fictional weather forecast, maybe one for the books here.
Well, for the Tiger's Nest and the other Explorer Academy books, the kids go through a variety of climates. They go through a variety of changes, and they travel around the world. They circumnavigate the globe in a ship called Orion. So they learn about climate. They learn about things like conservation and animal extinction and species extinction. And so that's really what I'm trying to get across to the readers, is that they have an opportunity to participate in the world. They have an opportunity to contribute, and I just really want them to learn about different topics like weather and like climatology and volcanology and all of the wonderful things that National Geographic explorers do.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing too. And who are some of your favorite authors and writers growing up?
Oh, I had so many that were so influential in me. I would say E.B. White was huge. Charlotte's Web was one of my favorite books. I think Beverly Cleary was another great fiction writer that I really read quite a bit. I would look for those books that would strike me when it came to friendships, and relationships between people. I think that, and that's kind of, what really still hits me today. When I might write a great adventure story and include scientific facts, but what it really comes down to are the characters, and how much do you care about the characters? So C.S. Lewis, I love the Chronicles of Narnia. There's a writer called Elaine Konigsberg, and she would write about children relationships, friendships, and I loved her stories as a kid, because when you're young, you're looking for people to relate to. You're looking for friendship. You're looking for people that are like you. And then sometimes you're looking for people that are completely opposite of who you are. And you're looking to explore the world. And I think that's why I really do like writing for this age group, is the potential, the possibilities. When you're 9 years old, you can be anything. And you want to be everything. Mm-hmm. And that's really at the heart of why I love writing these stories so much, is that I want kids to see, take the time to explore the world and yourself, and maybe you'll find, something that you're passionate about. And if you don't, that's okay. Just keep looking, keep learning, keep exploring, keep growing.
Mm-hmm. And that sounds fascinating as well, too. And what would you say, what was that one precise moment for you that influenced you into what you're doing today? Think one specific moment that influenced you into what you're doing today.
I would say that's really tough, but because there's so many people in your lifetime that really change you. I would say the one specific moment was when I was 9 years old. I used to bother my teacher, Mrs. Zelinsky, to read my poetry in class. And then I would write plays, and I would bother her to put the plays on in front of the class. So I would cast my friends in the roles. We would rehearse at recess while other kids were playing on the bars. We would be rehearsing the play, and then we would put the play on in front of the class.
Oh, wow.
We were pretty serious. We were, actors and we would even bring costumes. We did the whole thing. And I remember one time Mrs. Zelinsky had us perform the play in front of the school.
Oh, wow.
The whole school. And I just remember looking out into the audience and seeing all of those kids looking and listening to words I had written that told me that, words are a powerful thing. Storytelling is a powerful thing. And whatever I do in my life, I want to make sure that somewhere along the line that storytelling is a part of it. So that was a big moment for me.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say your favorite books were?
My favorite books were probably Chronicles of Narnia,
Ooh.
Charlotte's Web. E.L. Konigsberg wrote a book called The Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. It's a long title. That really connected with me a great deal. It's about a girl and her brother who run away and spend time at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. They run away to the museum and hide at the museum. And, I mean, who doesn't want to do something like that?
makes you think of Ninth and Museum. It's like, they get locked in and all these wax figures come to life. I mean, 1, 2, 3, everybody pops out and starts having a party. So maybe it's good to hide in the museum. You never know who wants to come out and play.
I mean, those are the kind of stories that, as a kid, you're thinking, where would I go? If I could run away and, know that I can come home because, eventually you have to go home. But where would I go? What would I do? How would it be? And her and her brother run away to the museum, and they eventually stumble on a mystery that they have to unravel and solve. So that had a big impact on me as a kid. And, Beverly Cleary books, Ramona the Pest, was huge for me. I loved just great, funny stories. And again, relationships. That's really what you remember when you think back to the books that you like as a kid. It's usually the relationships, the friendships, the connections that people had, those characters had, that stay with you.
Mm-hmm. And that's so important as well, too. We'll talk about some of our other books like Julep O'Toole, My Top Secret Do's and Don'ts, and more. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor, international award-winning author Mia Mosen-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mia Mosen-Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mia Mosen-Zia has garnered great reviews and loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today, available on Amazon, Missing by Mia Mosen-Zia. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple as well. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with author Trudi Trueit, who one-time TV news reporter and weather forecaster in Yakima and Spokane, here on The Mike Wagner Show with her book, Thetigersnest. And before we get to the series from National Geographic, you also wrote Julep O'Toole, which I like the mint version, My Top Secret Dares and Don'ts, Sister Solution, and more. And maybe you can just talk about some of those books first of all.
Well, yeah, the first series that I ever wrote was the Julep O'Toole series. And you know how they always say, write what you know. So that was my very first series that I ever had published. And I kind of wrote who I was. I mean, Julep was me. And
really?
What you learn, so what you learn, like I had an older sister and a younger brother. Guess what? So does Julep. She was dealing with some of the same problems that I had in school. And it was a really great experience for me to kind of dip my toes into fiction and learn how to craft a book, learn what it took to take those experiences that you have, that and then be able to create conflict and resolution, and again, looking for, because even when you're a writer, you have to learn how to write. There's it's a craft like anything else. So that was a great series for me to really cut my teeth and learn how to write. And I hope, you get better with every book. So, from there, I did a series called Secrets of a Lab Rat, which was about a boy, and it was, again, modeled a little bit after my younger brother, who was kind of a pain when we were kids.
Don't we all? I mean, I had 3 sisters myself, and I watched them fight. I just sit back with my cars in my little room, and I watch them fight while I play. So I'm getting a little play-by-play action, not get involved.
There you go. There you go. And I can only imagine what they thought about, Mike, what, oh, yeah. So, so it was great, and great fun to write that. I had a really fabulous illustrator on that series, so we had a lot of fun. It was for a little bit younger audiences, between 7 and 9 years old. So we had a lot of fun writing that and putting that series together. And so I did a couple of tween books after that for middle grade girls, which I really love. Again, relationship, connections with middle school, reality-based. And then Explorer Academy came along, and really for the last 4 years, I have been working on this series.
Wow, that is amazing. He also did My Top Secret Dares and Don'ts, The Sister Solution, and where can we find all your books at?
You can find all of my books at, of course, your favorite bookseller online. They're at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. If you have your local independent bookstore can order, or they do carry the series, so you should have no trouble finding this series.
We certainly will do so, and we'll talk about the Tiger's Nest from the Explorer Academy series in just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by our official sponsor, international award-winning author Mia Motion Zia of Missing. You can find on Amazon and ebook and more. And we'll be back on The Mike Wagner Show with author Trudi Trueit after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We are back with author Trudi Trueit here on the Mike Wagner Show with The Tiger's Nest from the National Geographic Explorer Academy series. And before we talk about The Tiger's Nest, you also included Nebula's Secret, Falcon's Feather, Double Helix, and Star Dunes, and maybe just a quick overview of what those books are about. And tell us about those.
Yeah. How much time do we have? We'll go through them all.
Wait, here we go. Stopwatch, ready to go.
Here we go. In one sentence or less.
It's up to you.
Yeah. I don't think I could do it. But,
it's okay.
Explorer Academy it started out as a series about the protagonist. His name is Cruz Coronado, and Cruz's mom died when he was young under mysterious circumstances. She was a scientist, and she left a journal for him to find. And what she left for him was basically it's a hollow journal, so it's one where she's projected, again, technology, and she tells him that she created a serum that would help mankind, and but fearing for her life because other people were after this serum, she etched it into a stone, cut the stone into pieces, and then hid them around the world in different places for him to find. So Cruz is on a personal mission, and in each book he finds and sometimes loses pieces of the serum. So that's really where that ties each book together. So in some of the books he finds a piece, and others he may lose one. Sometimes he finds more than one. And I weave this into the story with all of the explorers that are traveling the world and are learning about some of the things that the real National geographic explorers are doing. So, they learn about things like, habitat reforestation and restoration. They might learn about conservation of a particular type of animal. They're going to learn about species extinction, some of the issues that we face. And then also, they participate. So they actually, do help with habitat restoration. They do help with conservation. They learn about things like coral bleaching and help with a coral nursery farm. And so that's sort of the backdrop of Cruz trying to solve the mystery of getting back all of those pieces of the formula, and so that he can, complete them by getting all of the pieces together again.
Mm-hmm. And it also talks about, how you work as a team, how you resolve problems, conflict resolution, and interacting with others. It's not just all about science and discovery. It's all about, human interaction. How do you solve problems? How do you work together? And how do you solve problems? It's all about human interaction and applying to real life.
Yeah, and I think that is, that's really the crux of what makes a great book, is the connection between the characters. Because, you can have characters that travel the world and do wonderful things. You can have great plot twists and exciting things that are happening to them. But ultimately, if you don't care about the character, if the character's relationships are not strong, if there is no place for the character to grow and expand, then how long do you read that book? And especially when you're a child, I always say, writing for kids, you got to be quick. Okay, you got to grab them, you got to hold them, and you got to tell them an exciting story. And that's perfect for me because I lose interest in books really quickly. I might pick up an adult book, and adults are a little bit more patient than kids. We might stay with a book for 50 or 60 or 70 pages, hoping that it will get better. Kids are not like that. They want a good story and they want it now. And so it's really a great exercise for me in being able to provide them with characters that are well-developed and that have good relationships with each other. And, they learn things like, how do you cooperate with each other? How do you cooperate with people you don't like? How do you deal with your own emotions when you're impatient or frustrated? Because they are traveling the world. They are not with their parents. They have adults, but they are not, but they can't go running home to mom and dad at the end of the day and saying it wasn't fair. They have to learn how to work together as a team, and they, over time, and that's one of the great things about writing a series, is that over time, I can help their relationships grow and change just the way real people do. So characters that, like Cruz as one boy that just does not like him. Cruz can do nothing right. This boy doesn't like him. And gradually, over time, they kind of figure out where their relationship went wrong and how they can correct it. And I think that, that is what makes exciting reading. It's the friendships, the connections, the relationships that characters have that make you want to read a story and then bring you back to want to read another book.
Mm-hmm. And there's also an arch enemy as well, too, basically who's determined to stop him from completing the most important mission of all. I mean, you got to have some protagonist or antagonist or whatever you call it. It's like the evil guy that wants to stop, like Dr. Robotnik in Sonic or Team Rocket in Pokemon. And it kind of makes me think of James Bond. It's like you got some evil person there just want to just is dead set in destroying the world, and James Bond trying to save it. So you got that element in there as well, too. It kind of made me think of James Bond the way to start. So
yeah. I mean, and so the villain actually has some helpers. He has like elf helpers, kind of, that are. And one of the great things about writing this was I actually have. I've written the story from Cruz's point of view, but every now and then you get the villain's point of view, which I don't think that many books do. And over time, you can kind of see one of the villains who is working for the supervillain is starting to change. Oh. He's starting to realize that maybe this whole villain thing isn't where he wants his life to go. Because I really do think that, not all villains are all evil, and not all protagonists are all good. We're all multidimensional, three-dimensional people. We have good points and bad points. And so, again, part of that is building characters that are real. And hopefully that, kids see as real. So there's definitely twists and turns with the good characters, because one of the explorers turns out not to be so good, and one of the villains turns out not to be so bad.
Mm-hmm. Right, and of course...
And that's fun to read, and that's so much fun to write.
Yes, it is, and a lot of technology involved. You got, you You got micro air vehicles. You got flying robots. You got the Orion and just about everything. And they can also check things out like the blacktip reef sharks and explore the Amazon. I mean, just all kinds of wonders using brand new technology.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about doing this series is, you know, I'm a big Star Trek geek, and I loved watching Star Trek, and I still do, even the movies that come out, and seeing the technology that they use. And you notice that a lot of the technology that didn't seem possible in the 60s, we now take for granted. I mean, the communicators, we now hold cell phones in our hands wherever we go. We don't even think twice about that. So, you know, I was sort of looking at what are some things that are on the cutting edge of technology that I can use in this book. Cruise has a Honeybee drone. And kids are really familiar. When I go talk to kids, I go, you know what a drone is? And they're like, yeah. And then I say, well, do you know how small drones can be? And they have no idea that we do actually have drones that are about the size of your fingernail.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and then those are real. So it's interesting for me. And then, of course, you know, I take it to the next level. His Honeybee drone can do a lot more than the regular drone. She can think for herself, you know, which you know, I'm not sure we're quite at that level yet, but the fact is that, you know, this cutting-edge technology, we don't realize how much science can do and how much it does for us every single day. You know, from the cell phones we hold to the computers in our hand. I have a electric car that, you know, is smarter than I am. I mean, it's just
a lot of cars are smarter than people these days, including yours truly.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I get in the car and it tells me what the weather is. It tells me if there's something behind me. It's, you know, got the backup camera and the side view cameras. And of course, you know, we have, you know, autonomous vehicles now. So we're moving into that area where cars are now driving for us. So yeah, it's an interesting, science is an interesting field to get into, and there's so much opportunity for kids, and that's what I want them to see again. You know, if they like technical gadgets and gizmos, or maybe they like animals, or they like environment or weather, that there are tons of opportunities and career fields for them to explore. And why not do it right now when you're 9, 10, 11, 12 years old to really take advantage and see what you love to do?
Mm-hmm. And that is very fascinating, too. Now, I was just thinking about these drones. Can the Honeybee drone make coffee for us?
I don't know if she can do that yet.
Well, hot chocolate's fine. So
she can certainly stir it. Yeah. I would not be surprised. In fact, I was just reading about that, the Robo-Bee drones, that they actually can they can go faster than they can think faster than humans. They can go faster than humans and think faster than us. So who knows how, you know, what the future holds for that.
Well, maybe they can put Alexa out of business too, but don't tell Amazon that. So
No.
Of course, you think about the technology as well, too, having everything in palm of your hand. Reminds me of the Dick Tracy wristwatch where you see Dick Tracy speaking
right.
into it. That could also be in the future, too, as well. So I was thinking about that, yes.
Well, and we already have those. I mean, think about that. We have smartwatches, you know, and Fitbits. I have a Fitbit that I put on my wrist, and my Fitbit can tell me, you know, my heart rate. It can tell me my speed that I'm walking. It can tell me it can monitor my sleep patterns and tell me my sleep. It's crazy.
But as Spock would say, is that logical?
It's an amazing world. Science is an amazing thing.
Yes, it is.
The explorers that I've had the chance to talk to are really incredible people and doing pretty incredible things.
It is so amazing. And where can we find The Tiger's Nest and the rest of the series?
You can find it wherever your favorite books are sold. So you can find it in your independent bookstore. You can find it online at Barnes & Noble, at Amazon. You know, they're pretty much every bookstore will carry the series.
That is so amazing. We're here with author Trudi Trueit here on the Mike Wagner Show of The Tiger's Nest from the National Geographic Kids Explorer Academy series. And what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Trudy?
Oh, well, I have to write 2 more books in the series, so you'll be looking for book number 6 is coming this fall. And so that will be out in October. And then the following year, we'll have the 7th and final book in the series. So looking forward to doing that. I'm going to miss it very much when it's over. I'm going to miss it a lot.
And I'm sure you'll be given other subjects as well, too. So keep us up to date on that. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Trudy?
Oh, biggest influence in my career. Oh, my goodness. That is, I just had just a flash of so many different names. I would say probably my mom and dad. They are just, they're no longer with me, but they were just so influential and so supportive of me being a writer when I was young, because, writing is not exactly a career that you go, oh, you're going to be a doctor. Well, that's good. That's big money. As a writer, you are an artist, and,
a doctor writer. You could do that. A doctor writer.
I think I should have. My parents would have been thrilled. But you know what? For them, the most important thing was that I did what I loved, and they supported me in that. And I'm just so grateful to have that kind of support, because I really wouldn't be a writer. I don't think I would be a writer. I don't think I'd have the confidence to do that if I didn't have parents who said, follow your dream, follow what you love to do, follow your passion, and you'll be happy. So I would say they were probably my biggest influence. I was sure lucky to have them.
And that is a very good thing, Trudy. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice?
Yes.
I would say, I always think of writing advice, because that's what always people ask me about, writing advice. I would say be true to yourself. Be true to your heart. Follow your heart. Usually, if I follow my instincts, I follow my gut, then it rarely leads me wrong. It's when I decide that other things are more important, like I should do this because that might make me some money, or I might, I might get something out of this, and it never works out. It never does. It's like, oh, why did I take that project? Why did I do that? What was I thinking? So I always say that, it's really just, be true to yourself, follow your heart, and, things will work out the way they are meant to be in your life.
That is so interesting. Once again, author Trudi Trueit of The Tiger's Nest from the National Geographic Kids Explorer Academy series on the Mike Wagner Show. Trudy, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your books?
Sure. You can find my books at theneverendingbookshop.com. You can also find them at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com online. You can find them at your independent bookseller, your favorite independent bookstore. You can look for my website, which will have the latest projects and things that I'm working on, at truditrueit.com, spelled TRUDITRUEIT.com. And my next two projects are writing books 6 and 7 of the Explorer Academy series.
That is fantastic. Once again, Trudy, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to stay in touch. And for you Star Trek fans, live long and prosper.
And same to you. Thank you, Mike. My pleasure.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.